Hey everybody, how are you? This is Mike Zagari with Go Physical Therapy and Wellness, and in today's video we're going to be talking all about neuroplasticity. So let's get started. What is neuroplasticity? Well, basically neuroplasticity is the ability for the brain to adjust to various stimuli that are available in our environment or different tasks that we do. And knowing this and knowing how to harness this is very important, especially in physical therapy and getting the most out of the patients that we work with. So how can we use this to our advantage? Let's first talk about some of the disadvantages of neuroplasticity, because neuroplasticity can go both ways. There can be positive changes that occur in the brain, and there can be negative neuroplasticity or negative changes that occur in the brain. So, watching soap operas all day, watching the news 24/7, sitting around, being unstimulated, sleeping all day, being isolated. These are things that can cause negative neuroplasticity. Yes, there will be less brain connections and less differences and improvements if the person is doing these things. Now, the opposite is true. If we challenge the patient, if we do different tasks, if we make the environment more enriching, if we help the patient to do things a certain way, we can actually create what's called positive neuroplasticity. So if somebody has, let's say, plateaued, what can we do to create a positive change in the neural connections in somebody's brain? Well, for one, we can make the task more difficult. We can make the task challenging to the person so that they're not actually doing it perfect the first time. They actually have to sit and think it out and maybe fail a little bit and then learn how to do that task a little bit better. So make it more challenging. You could do this by changing the environment, making the lighting a little bit different, adding a task to the actual exercise, making them have to think a little bit while they're doing something. Maybe they are increasing the load or the intensity or challenging themselves in the speed in which they're doing this. So this creates a positive effect on the brain. The brain has to create other connections and other pathways in order to do that specific challenge. The brain learns, and believe it or not, at any age you can learn. A lot of people think that, oh, just because they're in their 70s or 80s, they cannot learn anything. That is just simply not true. We see it in all walks of life. People can learn at any single age. It just simply happens that people get set in their ways and in their habits, and they simply don't challenge themselves. So they plateau, or they have what's called negative neuroplasticity. Another thing you can do is enrich the environment, and that's why stimulating environments or social day programs are fantastic for seniors, because they're around people, they're doing activities, they're usually doing arts and crafts and having people come in and entertain them. Now compare that to sitting at home, and if you don't use it, unfortunately, you lose it. So that occurs with the brain as well, and that is negative neuroplasticity. So if a person has a chronic condition such as a stroke or a cerebral vascular accident, they can actually get a lot better if they are challenged using simple terms and simple ideas such as neuroplasticity of the brain. So I hope that you got a lot out of this video. If you have any questions, I know this is a complicated topic, and I try to break it down a little bit into an easy to understand manner. But if you have any questions, feel free to email me. And I am wishing you health and happiness, and have a fantastic day.